What's up, everybody? I made something. New ice fishing shelter. I've been working on this for about the past month and I've been waiting to try it out, but the ice has not been safe enough. But we got a cold spell and it is safe enough. It is approximately negative 10 degrees right now, air temperature. So the way I'm gonna do this video is I'm gonna start out showing you how I made this thing. I'm gonna give you a quick montage, maybe like 5 minutes or so, just to show you how I made it, show you some of the ins and outs of the thing. And then we're gonna go inside and we're gonna catch some fish. I've already got the...
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm on the quest to build a DIY pop-up ice fishing shelter. And I've got nothing to use to build it except some 2x4s, a 4x4, some rope, odds and ends screws, and we've got 2 Mylar coated tarps that reflect heat. And we're going to try and take all that stuff and form a functional ice fishing shelter. The ultimate goal is to make it somewhat portable, somewhat pop-up like. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to walk you through how I do it. I'm going to take all that stuff and try and make the best DIY pop-up ice fishing shelter I can make. All right, let's do it.
These are going to be the supports. I'm going to put them something like this. I'm going to build a bench right here. See, like a sitting bench?
Baby.
All right, let's stain some wood. There. All right. We got our sled. Okay, I've got that center brace there. I've got my rod holders. So I think we're good for now on that.
Okay, I kind of laid this front brace that's going to be laying on the ground. Kind of gives you an idea of the kind of the area of the sled.
Let's see what we have here. There, we made it through.
See what it looks like. Okay, so now I think we're done with our wood structure. We got all the ropes in place. Everything's there to support the tarp. Now is one of the steps I'm most nervous for because I got a tarp, it's in 2 pieces because I couldn't find a big enough piece to go over the whole thing. So we have to stitch together the 2 pieces. Then hopefully that'll be enough to cover the whole thing. And then we have to figure out how we want to get it adjusted and everything. And then it also has to be able to crumple up when we shut it and open it and work like that. So let's see if this tarp is going to work for what we need it to do. This is how big one of them is. The first thing I want to do is I want to sew these 2 pieces together. I got this one because it's got a bunch of different needles, really large needles. And we have this, this kind of heavy string. Okay. Now we have this piece to patch somewhere if we want to. Now I just need to get some Velcro. So here's what it looks like on the inside. You can Velcro it up, button her up here. Got some down here. Button it up. I've got a rope there tied to some eyelet screws, and I'll show you that's what we're going to use for pulling the sled when it's folded up. So the tension in these supports is being provided by these ropes, which pass through the 2x4s. I've got knots on the other side so it can't pull out. So for the outer cover here, we've got a tarp, and it's got this silver mylar coating. So this reflects, I think it's supposed to be like 95% or more of the heat is going to come back in. It's not going to escape. I used some heavy string to stitch that together. You can see all the way around. It's stitched together. I got that little window in the front. I can undo the Velcro so it can be a see-through plastic window, or I can leave it like that with relatively no light coming in. So I'm sitting on a box that's about 14 inches tall, I'd say. I put some rod holders in there to put my rods. This is where I can put my Livescope. Maybe I can put some foam pads in here if I want to cover the snow with foam pads, whatever else. There's a lot of storage in here. So let me show you how it flips up. So you can see it flips up like this. And it goes to about there. So this is how it's going to look when I'm transporting it. So I'll have to see in the back of my truck how this actually is going to transport. That's going to be the hard part with this, is actually driving around with it. You can see I rounded off those 4x4s so it will function as a sled on snow. Okay, that's what it looks like. That is my 1 or 2 man pop-over shelter for ice fishing. And now let's try it out and see if it works. Here we go.
right, so here we are. Welcome inside my ice shelter. We do have a fish down there. There were a lot of fish down there, but I've been dinking around with all this stuff. Okay, folks, we're ready to try and catch our first fish in the ice shelter. That is after I unscoop all this stuff. Looks like there's one fish right below me. Let's see if we can bring him topside and take a look at him. Oh, there's more than one. Another serious problem I'm having is my glasses are fogging over so bad. There I go. All right, they're getting the first look. Oh man, they're coming right to me. This guy's gonna come right up and eat it. Can you believe that? We got him already. On right away. Dream fulfilled right here. My rod is frozen up. Decent bass. Gotta make sure I don't break these guys off. I got a really light line. There we go. Little bass for you guys. All right, I'm gonna remember this one. This is the first fish in my ice shelter. Pretty sweet. He gets to go back. All right, are you guys seeing that? Yep, you guys are getting the view of that, I think, on the Livescope. Lots of things to think about when you're filming here. Got to think about the Livescope camera. Got to think about the first-person camera. Back down we go. Here I go. Stop it right above them. Oh, this one's... Oh, we got an engager. We got an engager. Oh, come on. Waiting to feel them. Got one. Feels pretty good. It's gonna be one of those the big bluegills that live in here. Yeah, tank bluegill. Look at that tanker. Holy cow. Guess we better get the bump board out. My goodness. Huge bluegill. Okay, back down he goes. Well, it's warm enough in here that I can keep my gloves off for the most part. That's good. This one looks like this one's gonna smash it. Yeah, that one came right in. I could see that one come right in. I bet this is a bluegill. He's pulling pretty hard. Yep. Let's just get a... I'm guessing he's about a 9.5 incher. I don't think these are... Oops. Oh my... So I've got the bump board here. Just to make sure he's not 10. He's gonna go probably like 9.5. Yeah, he's like 9.5. That gives us a kind of a metric for how big these guys are. They're not 10 inches. I can't even tell where I'm at. Gotta go back down to find out where I'm at. There I am. Bigger fish coming from the right. Yep, he did not hesitate. That could be something else. Yep, that's something else, I think. That's not a bluegill, I don't think. Could be a crappie. Oh man, it's just a bigger bluegill. Jeez. It was just the biggest bluegill in the herd. Look at that thing. Look at that fish. Man. That's got to be our 10 incher. Just barely. Look at this. Just barely touching 10 inches. But I can pinch the tail a little bit more. And he's going to go. Nice. All right. There's our 10 incher. Whew. Let's get some more, okay? Bass don't seem to be very active today. I caught one right straight away, but I know some of these fish are probably bass. There's a fish. Feels pretty heavy. Bluegill, and he just choked that thing, man. Jeez. Absolutely choked it. There we go. Nice big bluegill.
is not freezing over, my line's not freezing over. So we're staying pretty warm in here despite the cold temperatures outside. Oh, here comes somebody. He just arrived on the scene and he's not gonna hesitate. Come on. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What is it? Big bluegill. Big tank bluegill. We will take him. There was 2 other fish there. They were sitting there staring at me for a long time. This guy just arrived on the scene and was ready to eat. All right, -10 outside, and we are fishing in the nice, you know, pretty warm shack. It'd be a lot warmer with a heater, but we'll work on that later maybe. This is definitely warm enough. Warm enough that I can fish without gloves. Oh, there's one coming. Gonna smoke it, yep. Nice, this is awesome. This is fun. Bluegill. Tank bluegill. Look at that thing. Tank bluegills. Okay, shark tank down below me right now. Back down into him. Okay, I think we attracted the herd here. Oh, look at all the fish packed stacked up right there. We got to get one of these. Yep. Just waiting to get into a crappie. This feels like another bluegill. Pulling pretty hard. What is this? Yep, nice bluegill. That's a female. It's not quite as big as the other ones. There we go. Good thing I got that window, that clear window, or we wouldn't be able to see these fish. It's kind of dark in here. Let's see if we can find a crappie here. I have a feeling that one that was up high at first was a crappie. One coming right in for it. Man, it just can't believe what a feeding frenzy it is. This is what happens when you have a catch and release lake, people. There's another one. Catch and release, you get, oh, I lost him. Catch and release, you get good numbers of fish. And the size is good. Sometimes you can get them overpopulated and you need to thin them out, but yep. Waxworm is on. Down we go. Lost my fish. They're probably just off to the side, I would imagine. Oh, there's one. Just fixing my door a little bit there. Here we go. I like the lack of hesitancy here. Last weekend I stopped and fished for a little bit, and the fish were hesitant, but these fish are not. That's a tank. What a fish that is. Whew. Man, you can see these fish have worms. You can see they get those little yellow worms. You can even see them in their gills. Oh, that one's pretty close to 10. Let's just check. Bump him. Probably 9 3/4. I'm gonna start from the, oh, no, I better not do that. I don't want to, I hadn't wet the bump board isn't wet up here, so I didn't want to stick him. So I just released him. He was like 9 3/4. He wasn't 10. All right, skin of a waxworm back down. I'm gonna put a spoon on here in a second, and we'll see what we get here. Maybe a spoon will attract a bass or a crappie, but this is doing okay. All I'm doing, getting it down just above them. These fish want to rise up to eat. So ideally you start it like kind of right in their face and then you lift it away from them. Sometimes I'll start it down in the mud like I'm gonna do right now. Start in the mud and then lift off. And that's kind of a natural presentation for them to see bugs. Oh, there's one screaming in. It's kind of, ooh, he denied me. It's a natural presentation for these guys to see bugs and things like that, aquatic organisms coming out of the mud. That's how they're feeding this time of year. There's another one coming in. Several of them coming in. That one took it. I was gonna say, they all are making runs at it. They're all engaging it, and some of them just aren't eating it. Big old bluegill. Big old tank bluegills. There we go, back down he goes. Man, I can't believe what a feeding frenzy it is down there. Sitting below me. Usually I have to kind of drill around and follow them. It seems like they're all just sitting below me, making it easy on me. I don't have to move my shelter at all. So that's nice. Oh, there's one. He looks like he wants to play. Oh yeah, he's coming straight up at it. Straight up at it. Got him. No hesitancy on these fish. That is another bluegill. Probably the biggest one yet in terms of just overall weight. Look at that. Pretty close. Over 9 3/4 for that one. Just a ton of fish down there. This guy's coming fast. Good hard fighting bluegill this morning. That almost, no, it's not a hybrid. I thought that was going to be a hybrid maybe. Almost looked like one. Here we go. Okay. Fish like crazy. I really don't want to switch to the spoon, but we got to try for something else. Try for some other species here. Waiting for that big crappie mark. I think we had, oh, there's that. There's one off to the side. Oh, look at all the fish down there now. Shark tank. That guy touched it and then left. That was the smallest fish down there. There are some bigger marks down there. This one's screaming in for it. That guy didn't. Oh, that guy didn't mess around. This was one of the smaller marks down there, so let's see what we got. It feels like a bluegill cutting. Man, that was one of the smaller marks. So those other fish down there are pretty good size. There we go. Those other fish down there are pretty decent sized fish. It just shows you the attraction of that spoon. All these fish just showed up. Bigger one coming from the right. He's gonna eat. Yep. Man. Whoa, this guy's pulling. Could this be a bluegill? Man, these guys are pulling hard. Yeah, it's a bluegill, man. Not even the biggest one we've seen. But he pulled. There we go. All right, so let's have some final thoughts on the DIY ice shelter video. So I was happy to actually get it to the point where I could actually take it out on the ice and actually catch fish in it and use it the way it was intended. It worked. It kept us warm on a -10-degree day, which is a good way to test it. We caught a bunch of fish in it, and there'll be another video coming up where we're gonna do some underwater camera stuff in the ice shelter. Works really good for underwater camera stuff because it's really dark and that allows you to see the monitor, and you'll see that coming up in the next video. There was one little snafu, and that was the adhesive on the Velcro. So the adhesive on the Velcro failed. I should have thought of that beforehand, but I didn't. When I had it at about 25 to 30 degrees in my garage, the adhesive worked fine, but I didn't think about what was gonna happen when it got to -10 and all the adhesive failed and the door wouldn't stick. So I had to, like, I don't know if you, maybe there's some few points in the video where you can see where I had to kind of like tuck the door and do the best I could with the door because all the adhesive from the Velcro fell off. So that's an easy fix. That's something I should have done in the first place. I was kind of lazy with that. I just need to sew all the Velcro on, and I'm going to be doing that in the future. So the one thing about this shelter, and I kind of knew this going in, was that it's pretty heavy and it's kind of hard to move around. It's going to work best to just like pull up to a boat ramp, slide it on the ice, and then once it gets on the ice, I can go with it. It's fine. So maybe next year I'll do a 2.0 version. We'll see. I've got a bunch of ideas for other shelters that might be more portable, that might be lighter, and that's how I can improve on this shelter. Lighter and more portable. Thanks everybody for watching. If you were able to make it this far, I really appreciate you watching all the way through the video. I will catch you next time on another ice fishing video. See you later.